Hello students, good morning, and as you know, it's a new start with a new chapter, chapter 2. I hope chapter 1 is clear, so please, I'm always available there in WhatsApp, so sooner or later I'll be always replying, as I told you earlier also. So please clear your all doubts from the very beginning. Chapter 1 we have completed, and in another 2 videos, today's video and next video, we'll be completing chapter 2. So please make sure everything is clear from the very beginning. So today we'll start with chapter 2, biological classification, where we'll be learning about 5 kingdom classification. Okay, 5 kingdom classification, salient features and classification of Monera, protista and fungi into major groups, and then we'll also study separately lichens, viruses and viroids. And we shall start with the 5 kingdoms classification. And before starting the 5 kingdoms classification, we'll learn about, before starting the classification characteristic of the kingdoms, we'll see in lineage time. In lineage time, there was classification of 2 kingdom system was given. 2 kingdom system. Okay, 2 kingdom system means in Animalia and Plantae. That means for all the organism, only 2 kingdom was made, okay, during lineage time. That is Animalia and Plantae. So this 2 kingdom classification, 2 kingdom system we say. Was inadequate for all the organisms. Okay, the faulty, as it did not include, faulty in this 2 kingdom system. Why faulty? What does this 2 kingdom system means? All these things should be clear. Okay, I'll repeat again that in lineage time, during the time of the lineage, that means when the classification, when we started with classification, how did we start? And gradually, currently we are learning something in classification, and in future classification will again change on the basis of our understanding, improvement in understanding. Okay, as we understand better with the organism, as we understand better with our surrounding and the environment, then we may make modification in the current kingdoms or current classification which we are studying. Okay, so during that time, at the very beginning, the classification was 2 kingdom system, okay, where only 2 kingdoms were classified, Animalia and Plantae. Now, all the groups were divided on the basis of the organism having cell wall and not having cell wall. Okay, so organism all having cell wall comes under Plantae, and organism not having cell wall comes under Animalia kingdom. So that means bacteria also comes under Plantae, algae, fungi, all those organisms having cell wall, they come under Plantae. Whereas those organisms which do not have cell wall, they come under Animalia. That was the simple division which was done, okay, in 2 kingdom system. Now the faulty in this system, you see, what was the fault in this system? It did not include separately eukaryote or prokaryote. It did not mention that under this kingdom it will be eukaryote, under this kingdom it will be prokaryote. It did not segregate unicellular or multicellular. It did not segregate photosynthetic or non-photosynthetic. Okay, so these were the faulty. Okay, it did not include the false. Did not classify prokaryotes and eukaryotes under these 2 kingdoms. Okay, it did not classify unicellular organism and multicellular organism. It did not classify photosynthetic organism. Photosynthetic organism means those organisms which makes their own food by doing photosynthesis, and non-photosynthetic organisms. So these were not clearly distinguished. These all points were not clearly classified or not clearly distinguished in this two kingdom system. Okay, so that's why it had fault in this two kingdom system. And also what was required, which needed to be included, that we will see later. So that's why in later stage we discarded this two kingdom system, and in future the scientists were thinking of inclusion, that they thought that a kingdom should be classified on the basis of cell structure, the need of classifying cell structure, okay, nature of cell wall, mode of nutrition and reproduction, habitat, mode of reproduction, I'll write reproduction here, and evolutionary relationship. As you understand that how the cell structure is, on the basis of the cell structure we classify prokaryote and eukaryote. Then on the basis of the nature of the cell wall we differentiate plant cell from fungi, okay, and also we differentiate from bacteria, okay. And then mode of nutrition, on the basis of mode of nutrition we differentiate autotrophs and heterotrophs, plants and animal we differentiate. On the basis of reproduction we differentiate many organisms, asexually reproducing and sexually reproducing. And habitat, aquatic, terrestrial, evolutionary relationship. Evolutionary relationship means which organisms are our immediate ancestor, which organisms are immediately related to us, to which organism we are related to us, that will be categorized in a separate hierarchy. You know, there is a hierarchy of classification we have learned, right? So all organisms, they are related. See, ultimately all organisms are related. All organisms, whether it is reptiles, birds or anything, all organisms are related. But which are our immediate relative organisms? For example, we human beings are one group of species. Monkeys are one group of species, macaques are one group of species, chimps are one group of species, and apes are one group of species. But we are related. How? Because our ancestor, we have common ancestor. Then again, among us, we can relate with other mammals like cats and ruminant animals. Ruminant animals means animals cattle, grass-eating animals which produces methanogen gas in their dungs, right, in their waste. Okay, methane gas when they produce, they have methanogens in their digestive tract. Methanogens are the bacteria which can convert the food into a methane gas. Okay, that is why cow dung is used for biogas and all that you must have studied or you will learn in future chapters. So ruminants, that means the cattle, are also mammals. Okay, cattle are also mammals and cats are also mammals, and we primates are also mammals. Primates means apes, chimps, human being, we are primates. So primate, cats and cattle, we all are mammals. So how we are considered as mammal? Because we have evolutionary relationship. We are related. We give birth to young ones. That's why we are related. Right? Our habitat may be different. Our mode of consuming food may be different. And reproduction mode may be same. So some similar characteristics are there. Some dissimilar characteristics are there. But a very important and common characteristics should be there, okay, which can relate with one animal to the other animal, with one organism with the other organism, okay. So evolutionary relationship. On the basis of this also we need to categorize. So the need of classifying these all points were seen, and on the basis of that, that previous two kingdom system were discarded and a new classifying system were introduced. Okay. So let me before coming to the chart. The chart is from table 2.1. So this 2.1 table is an important table. Before explaining it, that's what I'm saying. Before explaining it, let me tell you that this table 2.1, you need to do it as a homework assignment. Okay, you need to prepare this table, and I give you the liberty of preparing this table in whichever format you want. You want to do this table in your notebook, you can do. You want to do this table in a chart paper, you can do. In whichever format, in A4 sheet you want to do. You want to paste this chart in your table, study table, you can do. Or you can let it be, you can color this chart paper with several colors and paste it separately. You do it in A4 size and paste it in your notebook. In whatever way you want to do, you do it, but this you take it as an assignment. Table 2.1, page number 70. Okay, so on the basis of this need of this criteria which we just discussed, on the basis of that, a new classification was done. Okay, a new classification of the kingdom were done, and that we call classification of 5 kingdoms. We did a classification of 5 kingdoms. What was our earlier classification? 2 kingdom system. Now, on the basis of the need, what was the need? The need was to classify on the basis of the cell structure, on the basis of their mode of nutrition, reproduction. We should separate them. Okay, not only in not only in 2 group like Plantae and Animalia. All the bacteria comes under Plantae, and rest all amoeba and all comes under animal kingdom. Like that it was classified, which was wrong. Okay, of course at that time the knowledge was not vast. So at that time it was correct, okay. But as we develop our knowledge towards organism, we keep on changing. Maybe in future we might have 7 kingdoms or 8 kingdoms. So that will be decided by you all. You all are the future. You will be the researchers or scholars. You will be doing the studies and find out that if there are some other categories on the basis of which animals can be segregated. Then you find that there should be, there should be 1 more kingdom, or there should be 2 more kingdoms to classify the organisms. Okay, so classification of 5 kingdoms in table 2.1. Please take out that table, because I won't be able to write it on the board. So please take out that table in page number 17, table 2.1. On the basis of cell type, number 1 is on the basis of cell type, all the 5 kingdoms are segregated. That means prokaryotes are considered under Monera kingdom, and eukaryotes are considered under protist, fungi, and Plantae and animal. Let me just write down what are the kingdoms here. Monera, protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Okay, so previously you have seen we had only 2. Now we have 5 on the basis of different need. Okay, so first on the basis of cell type, organisms which are prokaryotes are considered under Monera, prokaryotes, and rest all the eukaryotic, organisms under Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia, all are eukaryotic. Okay, and under Monera all are prokaryotic. And we know that on the basis of the 3 domains of life, we know that prokaryotic organisms are again have 2 super kingdoms. What are they? Archaea and Prokarya, right? So Archaea and Prokarya. All the organisms under Monera, they have again 2 super kingdoms, Archaea and Prokarya. Whereas these all are under the super kingdom Eukarya. Okay, these all are under the super kingdom Eukarya. Number 2, on the basis of cell wall. On the basis of cell wall, you see, Monera organisms under Monera kingdom also they possess cell wall, because prokaryotic they have cell wall. Protista organism they also have some they have cell wall, some they don't have. Fungi they have cell wall, plantae they have cell wall, but Animalia they don't have cell wall. Okay, so on the basis of cell wall, they have cell wall, they have cell wall, Monera has cell wall. Okay, and Protista some they have, some they don't have. Okay, some they have, some they don't have. Animalia they don't have at all. Now Monera, the organism those who have cell wall, how they are differentiated on the basis of their composition. Okay, on the basis of their composition. So non-cellulosic polysaccharide and amino acid cell wall. So in case of bacteria, we know that glycocalyx forms the cell wall of the bacteria. Glycocalyx forms the cell wall of the bacteria. So that is a polysaccharide and amino acid combination. So cell wall which is made up of a combination of polysaccharide and amino acid, those cell walls come under the kingdom of Monera. And in fungi, chitin. The cell wall is made up of chitin, and in plantae, cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. Animalia they don't have only cell wall, and Protista some they have, some they don't have. Okay. Next, nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is the covering of the nucleus. Now Monera, that means the bacteria, prokaryotes, they don't have only nucleus. So if they don't have nucleus, will they have nuclear membrane? No, they don't have nuclear membrane. And rest all other, they have nuclear membrane. Okay. Then body organization. How they are made up of. Monera are unicellular, made up of one cell. Protista are also unicellular, made up of one cell. Okay, cellular, not tissue level. Okay, body organization. Whereas fungi, they are multicellular. Okay, multicellular, they have loose tissue. And plantae also, they are multicellular, they have organs and organ system. Animalia also, they are multicellular, they have organ and organ system. Okay. The last one is mode of nutrition. So bacteria, most of them, they are autotrophic, that means they can make their own food by the help of chemical, by the help of light. Okay, they can make their own food. By the help of chemical, the chemical substance which are present in the soil or water, such as nitrate, nitrite, all these are organic substance, inorganic substance. So by the help of this inorganic substance, when an organism can make food, they are called chemosynthetic. Okay, so they can be by the help of chemical, they can make their food. By the help of light, like photosynthesis. Okay, they can make their food, so they are autotrophic. And bacteria, there are some bacteria which are parasitic in nature and they are pathogenic. They can harm the organism, so they are heterotrophic. They depend on other, heterotrophic. And some of the protista, they are heterotrophic. Okay, and some they are autotrophic. Fungi, they are saprophytic. Saprophytic, they depend upon dead and decayed material to survive. Saprophytic, fungi can be parasitic. Some fungi which lives on your nails and they depend on the tissues and food which are present in nails, and they grow and they live their entire life in your nails. Okay, so they are parasitic. And plantae, they are autotrophic. Some plants are autotrophic also, some plants are heterotrophic also. And animalia is completely heterotrophic, they are not autotrophic. So heterotrophic and holozoic. Holozoic and saprophytic. Holozoic and saprophytic means we depend upon dead plants and dead animals for surviving animal kingdom. In some animals like vultures, they are scavengers, and hyenas, they eat dead animals, and some we completely depend upon either dead organism or living organism. Holozoic. Heterotrophic. Holozoic means when we completely engulf the food. We completely engulf the food, and the food is been digested by the enzymes. Whatever food is present in the, I mean, whatever food is, whatever nutrients are present are been digested by the enzymes. So when we fully engulf the food, when we completely eat the food, we can completely eat the food. Complete consumption of the food is known as Holozoic. Nature of Holozoic nature of organisms. Complete form of nutrition. Now, who gave this 5 kingdom system? This 5 kingdom system was given by R.H. Whittaker. Okay, in 1969. It was given by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. And he proposed this 5 kingdom classification, and it was well accepted. Until now, we are learning this 5 kingdom classification. Okay, in future, if there is any changes, we might have 6 or 7 kingdoms. So earlier facts of classification are according to the 2 kingdom system which we have discussed, that plantae included all the microorganisms, bacteria also, fungi also, mosses also, ferns also, and plants also, which was not correct. Okay, so the fault was that it was not classified properly: prokaryote, eukaryote, unicellular, multicellular, and heterotrophic, autotrophic. All these were not classified properly, which was later on corrected by R.H. Whittaker, and he gave 5 kingdom system. And classification will keep on changing according to our evolutionary relationship understanding of organism. Now we will start with the kingdom Monera. Okay, we will start with the kingdom Monera. Understanding their behavior, nature, structure. Kingdom Monera. So only bacterial members are there. Bacteria's member, only bacteria are included. Okay, and based on the shape of based on the shape we have different types of bacteria. Okay, and what is so special about this bacteria is they can exist in the extreme habitats. They are found in extreme habitats, a habitat where any multicellular organism cannot live. Okay, deep inside the soil, hot spring area, deep sea, and in Arctic region, in very cold places, in very harsh climatic conditions, these bacteria are found. In hot spring areas, they are found where the temperature is very high, and in very deep sea where the pressure is very high. Okay, so in very deep inside the soil also, where the chemical content is very high, so there also they are found. So in extreme habitats, these bacteria are found where normally other organism, especially the multicellular organism, you won't find. So this is the special characteristics of bacteria. Okay, and on the basis of their shape, we have different types of bacteria called cocci. Cocci are spare in shape, round shape. Okay, then we have bacillus, which are rod shape. Then we have Vibrio, which are comma shape. spirillum, which are spiral shape. Okay, and then based on nutrition. Just now we have seen in table 2.1, based on nutrition, what are the mode of nutrition bacteria can go through? Bacteria can go through autotrophic nutrition, that is chemosynthetic, and photosynthetic. And they are also, this both are autotrophic. And this is heterotrophic. Okay. So bacteria, they can consume some inorganic compounds such as nitrate, nitrite, as I told you. They can consume this inorganic compound and convert them into food. And like how plants, they do making food process making by light, they also can do by the presence of special pigments. And heterotrophic, they are parasitic, dependent on the other organism. These are the nature of the bacteria. And then we will see the types of bacteria. Under bacteria, we will be learning archaebacteria, so archaebacteria, they are found in harsh habitat. And also they are found in the guts of ruminant animals, and their cell wall composition is different than the regular bacteria. Regular bacteria has polysaccharide and amino acid. Okay, regular other bacteria, okay, like cyanobacteria and the eubacteria, which we are going to see, eubacteria, all these different types of bacteria, their cell wall is made up of polysaccharide and amino acid, whereas their cell wall is made up of different components. So that's why they are different from other bacteria. Okay, so these are the nature of archaebacteria. Then we will see eubacteria. Eubacteria has rigid cell wall and they possess flagellum. It can be 1 or 2 in number, flagellum. Example, cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are known as blue-green algae because they possess pigments. That's why it is given name a blue-green algae. So there is a debate that whether the cyanobacteria comes under Monera or whether they come under Protista. Okay, but they are unicellular, but they have cell wall. Okay, they have cell wall and they don't have well-defined nucleus, but they do have the green color pigment which appears like a plant cell, like an algae which can synthesize their own food. For that reason, there is a debate that whether it should come under the Protista, cyanobacteria, or whether it should come under the Monera. It is not distinct well. So till it is distinct well, we will study it under eubacteria only. Okay, developed bacteria. So they possess chlorophyll, and due to which they make their own food. So they are photosynthetic autotrophs. Okay, they are photosynthetic autotrophs and they are unicellular, colonial, marine and terrestrial. Some of the characteristics we'll write here. They are unicellular. Marine means living in seawater. Unicellular means made up of single cell, and they live in colonies. Some of them, they are terrestrial, okay, and their colonies are surrounded by gelatinous sheet. And this cyanobacteria, they can also fix atmospheric nitrogen. Fixing atmospheric nitrogen, example is nostoc and alabina. They are called heterocyst. Example is nostoc and alabina. These are some of the cyanobacteria which can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Atmosphere's nitrogen can be fixed in the soil so that plant can absorb this nitrogen. And while the plant is absorbing this nitrogen, this bacteria is taking benefit from the plant's nutrient. Okay, so that is a symbiotic relation which you will learn later. So this was cyanobacteria, and some of the since we are learning eubacteria, some of them are chemosynthetic. As we have learned, what does chemosynthetic autotroph means? It means that they can oxidize the inorganic substance, the nitrate and nitrates. They can break down. Okay, they can break down this inorganic substance and convert them into food. Okay, so chemical compounds, converting them into food is chemosynthetic autotrophs. And converting light with the help of light and with the help of pigment chlorophyll, when you convert, when you make food, that is known as photosynthetic autotrophs. And then heterotrophic bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria, majority of them are mainly decomposer. They decompose the dead and decayed organism. Okay, making they decompose. See, whenever you find any decomposed animals or any decomposed plants, you will find bacteria growing in them. Okay, they decompose that dead bodies. So if these bacteria are not there, these heterotrophic bacteria are not there, decomposing of any animals and plants will be very difficult. Okay, so it's very important that this bacteria decomposes those plants and animals. Okay, and then sorry, they also help, this heterotrophic bacteria also helps us to make curd, antibiotics. Some of the bacteria helps in making antibiotics, eubacteria I mean, and they fix the nitrogen for us. So if these bacteria were not available, if these all bacteria were not available, rhizobium bacteria were not available. See, these two are autotrophic, whereas this heterotrophic, some heterotrophic bacteria also they can fix nitrogen. So if this bacteria would not have fixed nitrogen for us, then we will never get protein from plants. Okay, plants can make protein because this bacteria fixes the atmospheric nitrogen to the soil, and then these plants, they absorb this nitrogen, and then we get the protein from this plant. Okay. So, and the mode of reproduction, most of the heterotrophics, before coming to mode of reproduction, most of the heterotrophics, they are also pathogens. Pathogens means they are harmful. They can cause diseases. Coming to mode of reproduction, how do they reproduce? They reproduce by fission. They reproduce by fission, and also they produces spores, and by sexual mode also, by transferring DNA. To other cell, other bacterial cell. So we have heard that bacteria, they can divide, they divide their cell. So this sexual mode is very rare. Okay, they divide by dividing their body, and they produce spores. But sexual mode is very rare. Sometimes in unfavorable condition, when it is not favorable to produce a spore, or when it is not favorable to do fission, then they transfer their DNA to the nearby bacteria, and then they produces a new daughter cell. Okay, their own daughter cells. So here we come to a conclusion of kingdom Monera, and then we will see kingdom Protista and kingdom Protista and kingdom Fungi in our next video. Okay, thank you for listening to me, and if you have any doubt, please let me know. And our next video will be a little bit long, because because it will include the two kingdoms, and also the lichens, virus and viroids. And let me tell you, in this chapter there is nothing to nothing to know. It is all about learning. I mean, it is all about the facts. It is factual thing which you need to learn by heart. It is more of like by hearting. Okay, that these are the nature of the bacteria, and this is in this chapter there is nothing application based. It is all knowledge based. Okay, that is what I mean, that it is all knowledge based. You have to know that which organism is marine based, which organism does sexual, which are autotrophic. All this is a knowledge based, not an application based. So you don't have to learn something to apply your knowledge in some questions. It's not about applying, it is about knowing and learning by heart. More or less it is learning by heart the nature of the organisms here. Okay, thank you, and I hope you will do more of self study and revise and come up with lots of doubts. Thank you.